So what I will do now is send you a link. Send you a link to a couple of scripts that you will download. There you go. So just let me know when you will download these, and again put it in folder 7 of your instance. The same thing with it with who is active. Okay, everybody has those scripts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Good. So we went through a lot of theory in this training, but when it comes to the actual data from the customer, um, not everything might match. And when I say that, I mean, so if I go back to, I don't know, for the GL transactions that we have here, so they will take a look at one of the measures, and they would say, okay, but that is not in line with what we see in our system, our ERP system, Navision or AX. And then we try to find what the reason is. Now, there could be a couple of reasons. So we do the whole transformation process in BI for Dynamics. First, of course, we extract the data from Navision databases to Stage, and then put it to data warehouse and analysis database. So on any of these steps, there could be some errors, issues, or whatever. Could happen that the data is not matching. It's not common, but it can happen. It can happen for mainly two reasons. So one reason is on the customer side where they're doing something different from what standard BC or Navision is trying to do. So they're calculating something different or whatever, or they have their own a different formula for net sales or something like that. I'm just an example here. So something different, right? And they're expecting to see a specific result, but it's not showing. Okay, so that could be one reason. The other reason could be the error is, of course, on our side. This happens, right? It's not a, it has happened, but we need to have a few ways to check what went wrong. Now, going back to what I said, that we first get the data from Navision tables, and then we put it into Stage and then analysis database. Now, going from data warehouse to analysis database, this is really uncommon that we would have error here. So because what analysis database does is just read the data from the data warehouse and puts it into analysis database, right? So not a lot of chance for errors here. On the other side, Stage and data warehouse has a lot of variables that can influence this. Now, Stage is another one that is a little bit uncommon to have the data wrong. Because this is a simple procedure which only tells, like I said, which fields and tables to bring over from BC Navision tables, right? And we put it in Stage. This is still raw data on the Stage part. So assuming we have everything correct in the Stage tables, then the only thing that is left is the data warehouse where we're not just extracting like we do on the Stage tables, but we're doing the transformation. So it means that we did something wrong or not in line with what the customer has or what they're expecting. And that being said, it might also not be wrong. It can just be that exactly that customer is expecting something, the transformation process to be something else than we have in the standard modules, okay, in the standard solution. Now, Now, the last thing, right, is the that we actually made an error in the transformation process. So that can happen. So we made some error, although we have tested this extensively. Of course, like with every software, there is still a human factor here, chance to get something wrong, and that happens. So how do we make sure that that everything is okay? Well, looking at those folders that, or actually sorry, the the scripts that I've sent, what we'll do is open dimensions training. Now this is a little bit adapted to the script is a little bit of, adapted to for the for this particular training, but you'll have the same with the customer. Don't worry about it. So we'll just open it in Management Studio. And when you open it, just be careful that you execute it on the same instance that we have made in the course of this training. So when you have it here, just press execute. Now, hopefully we won't get any errors. I didn't have any errors, so good job. Luca did a good job here. And that's good. Okay. Now, what does this mean? What we're seeing here, we have a couple of dimensions here, the most important ones, right? The item, customer, vendor, and so on. And we have the number of records that is coming into the stage and the number of records when we do the transformation process in the data warehouse, right? And we can see here majority of the dimensions is correct. So we don't have any difference here, which means we haven't made any error. But in course of our training, I or maybe all of us did a error on the customer dimension. We see we have quite a big difference here, right? This is almost duplicated. So, 200 rows on the stage. So this is the raw data. And then in the transformation process, we somehow added 156 additional records. And this is definitely not okay. Do you maybe have the same result, or do you have any other issues on that?
I don't have the same result. I got a difference in document GL.
Document GL. Okay, we'll check that. Okay, next is Alex, I think. You
Yeah.
have, yeah?
Yeah, all values of all columns are equal to 0 for me.
All zero. So he
Mhm.
did everything correctly, or he didn't do anything at all. Yaka?
I have the differences on document GL,
How much of a difference?
400.
Okay, Rakesh, do you have the same 400 or a different one? Probably more, right?
No, I have 33.
33. Okay, so we have different results, which is fine. Good. Okay, so
But,
this is the dimensions.
sorry, I would just like to note, I have both stage and DV zeros as well, not just difference.
So if you have all zeros, that it probably means that that you didn't process your instance, or you have selected a different instance here on the top left corner. So check if the instance is the one that you're using.
Yes.
Okay, and check if you have you managed to follow the have you deployed and processed everything?
Yeah, I had some error with deployment.
Okay, so when you have errors in deployment, that means that no data is coming through to the stage in data warehouse. That's why you have zeros. Okay, so okay, I have a difference here, and I'll try to debug this, and I'll show you how to do that. This is something that you will use probably more than some other things we've talked about in this training. But if you have any difference, you will follow the procedure that I'll show you right now. Okay. So let's go to, so of course the transformation process comes from the scripts that we have created, right? So I'll go into my instance, I'll go into the customer dimension. Okay. And specifically, I want to see, I'll take a look at the view procedure. Okay. the view. So what does a view does? A view basically tells us from where do we want from when do we take the customer, and we have done some other tables or added some other tables here. For me, this was customer bank account. Okay, this was customer bank account. So maybe I did something wrong here. Maybe I did a wrong connection, or something. We'll find out. Stick with me. So what we'll do is, so this is, of course, I have my data on stage, assuming this is correct. I think it is. And then what I will do is try to select everything. So this is actually creating a view, but what we'll do is just do a simple select in the SQL Management Studio. So we'll get rid of the first. Actually, what we'll do is copy everything. So copy and just create a new query. Okay, and copy everything here. This is because we don't want to accidentally save this one, the script that is used for deployment. Okay, so I'll copy everything to the new screen, and here what I'll do is get rid of the last row. We don't need it, and I'll get rid of the where condition because we didn't specify anything here, and I'll also get rid of the very top of the procedure, only leaving select statement. Okay, everything's still following? Everybody's still following?
Yeah.
Good.
Please repeat which document did you open?
I opened the customer view.
So I will be opening this document GL view, right? In my case.
Document GL view. Yeah, you'll be open the document view. So if you have the document, I will have a look there. Document GL, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, document GL. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Have you edited this dimension in any way?
I'm not sure actually.
No worries. So do you have any additional tables here besides GL and setup translations?
I think it's the same.
It's the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll check that later on. But first, let's look at my example, which is most common. So you can observe this, and then we'll switch to you, Rakesh, and see what the issue is there. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I will select all these fields from. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do it a little bit differently. So. Okay, we'll go here and I will write select count. This will do the same as this procedure. Okay, it will only this one, it will only count the number of elements I have in the stage customer. Okay, and then I will select the select column, select count from stage. Good, and that's pretty much result I expected. Okay, 204 elements. Now, I already know I probably did some error in this part. Okay, so we'll check that. So what I want to do is select all. Okay, and execute that query, and that gives me 360, which is again in line with what we have in this procedure and this query that gives us the difference. Okay, so now we know that this was not wrong. This is true. We really have a difference here. And now I want to figure out which one made the difference. So I'll do select customer, and I'll select everything that was in there before I added this customer bank account. And I see the result is 204. If I execute this, it's 204. Okay, so the one that was added was the last one, which gave me the the wrong result. Okay, So let's focus on the last one. What I will do is comment the rest of the lines. Okay, so I can just do the select count from 360 and try to figure out what I did wrong. So how did I connect this table here? So customer bank account to customer number, customer number. For me, that seems correct, but let's check the data. What's the data? So what I will do is I'll still keep maybe the data source. I'll do the net sales, and I will not do the date, but I will bring in the customer. What I will also do is bring in the field that we have added. So the customer bank account. Okay, nothing is shown here because we only have one bank account. So we're in a bit of a trouble here. So we don't see anything specific here, but we do have that difference there. So so we have to figure out what's happening there. Now, I'm not really proficient in discovering those errors. Okay. And also for you, you will when you will see that error, you will probably ask one of our team to take a look at it, and namely the SQL department or the BI department or whatever. So someone will take a look and help you out on that. So what if everything seems correct? What am I doing wrong? Now, one thing that it could be, I'm saying could, it's not, no, it's not necessary that it is. Okay, let me just see if I have some filters somewhere. Okay, no. Data, sorry, design, tabular. Okay, what I see first is that customer has more than one bank account. Now, what we did here is we didn't actually have the one-to-one relations that we talked about. So this suddenly becomes one to many, okay? And one to many might not work, and it will not work. It will give you duplicate of the data. So we'll do something else. We'll look at the actual data. Let's see if we can figure something out. Again, I will take a look at the dimension customer. Just select everything, 360 rows. And what I will do is see where the data is duplicated. In theory and how it should be, we should only have one customer number for each customer. Okay, but already here I can see this is okay. This is only 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But this one, have it tripled. Okay, so why is that? And let me see why that issue is. So instead of getting all the fields here, I will just select everything. So this will give me a exact same view, but I will filter out these this particular customer number. So where customer okay, it doesn't offer me the results, so I'll just choose this from the drop-down menu. Okay, where customer number is. Okay, this is actually a Envar card field, so I will have to use the. Okay. Okay, so I have it. We said there should be only once, but we can see 9 results here. Now 9 results comes from different data sources. So one customer should come from one data source and one company, and another customer should come from a different company, and the third one from again the third one. Okay, so if this wasn't duplicated or tripled at this point, right? We would have 3 results here altogether, one customer for each data source. Now let's dig a little bit further. Let's filter and company ID equals 1. We'll just have a look at the first company. Okay, now we have the triple value that we're seeing. Okay, and then we have to see where the difference is. So now everything here is the same, right? So this is all okay. So we'll move a little bit to the right and see where the issue is coming from. So we have to spot the differences. Midlands and A. Okay, that's still the same. Okay, so the only difference that we see here is the bank account. Now, I don't think we did anything wrong here. I think this is the problem of data. Okay, because a customer bank account was not filled in the other 2 companies. Okay, and when that happens, we treat it as 3 different companies because there is 3 different customer because there is a difference here. Okay, any differences in customer, we'll find it out. Okay, and this is pretty common in Navision. So in one of the companies, they have a specific customer which doesn't have all the information. So what they will do here is get this bank account into other companies, and this should come up as one customer later on, and then we can treat it as one customer. Okay. Let me just check the data. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It might be something different as well, something that I'm not seeing right now. But this is just an example that I stumbled upon. Did you see any more differences in this? Maybe somewhere?
The first ID or the first PK ID is 789.
Sorry,
The first column.
the first column. Oh, this is the customer. This is the primary key ID. So anything besides this column, because this is our internal ID. This is how SQL works. So every table gets its own unique. Every row gets its unique ID. Okay, I didn't even check that. So, but thanks. That's a good question. PS. Domestic. Okay. So I think that's the difference, right? Now I didn't have any more. I didn't have any more differences, so that's the only one that I could find out. But I'm pretty sure. The 156 difference comes from this. Okay. Not getting too caught up in this. Should we maybe, Rakesh, can we take a look at your example? Can you maybe share your screen? Okay. Can you show me that the differences there in the number of differences?
It's 33.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that should be the same because document GL is coming directly from GL entry table. So that should be the same. Maybe it's something translation wise or whatever. We'll see. So can you do the same procedure as I did? Or I can do it for you. So if I can request control if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Like okay.
Okay. Do I have controls here? I do. Okay. I'll get rid of this one. And I'll get rid. Oh, what did we forget? We forgot to copy everything. Okay, the screen is a little bit slow for tourists.
Should I do it? Like I can also do it. It's okay.
Yeah, if you can do it, just copy into another query.
Okay. It's a new button. Okay. So delete all this, right?
Mhm.
Then you want to count the rows of this, right? From
Yes, you can select count everything from GL entry.
should I put back?
Yeah. Okay. Select count.
That's enough.
We need a. Sorry, this screen is slow to refresh for me, so I cannot see what you did there. I can see the wrong brackets. It's the normal brackets, the round brackets that you will use, and in the brackets you have to put a star.
Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see. So this is the how much. So you have 2787. Can we check on the dimension training, the procedure that we got? You can close this one, the original view.
2787. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is something that you have on stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a difference of 33. Okay, so maybe it comes from translations. Can we check that? So can you just select everything? Yeah, do that.
2787.
No, still the same.
Yeah.
Okay, that is now we're in trouble. So we don't actually know what we did wrong. But to be honest, I'm not sure what we did wrong because that should be working. Um, so maybe Rakesh, we'll take a look at this example, later on.
Okay.
I'm to be honest, I'm out of ideas here. Okay. Anybody else has some differences? Yaka, you also have it in the GL document or not?
Yeah, I have the same problem as the Rakesh. Like, it's the same count in just GL entry and the translation. So there's no difference here. But in the data warehouse, I got like a 400 record difference.
Okay. Did you get that result from the script that I've sent?
Yes.
Okay. Can you actually check, or can you share your screen maybe, and can you actually check the actual number of data in the fact tables? So please share your screen and we'll check the actual size of the data in stage table and then in fact table. So it might be that the script was not correct, right?
It
So
was. This is
it,
the stage table.
Mhm.
And this is
This is GL transactions. Uh, sorry, the screen was lagging for me. So in stage you have a lot less.
yeah, 5222.
Okay, but now you're checking the fact GL transactions. Now we're checking the
Okay.
dimension document GL.
So yeah, is it the same
Mm-hmm.
as the training? No, it's not. Here's one
Okay.
more.
Yeah, that's fine because that is the initial record that you see in the. Yeah, I'll show you what it means. So yeah, there's a difference, but the difference is. So which database did you choose?
The training one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, so yeah, let's look at that document GL um, dimension. Can you just select everything from document GL? Also, let me ask you this: did you do the filter that we were doing or not?
Yes.
Okay,
Maybe that's the difference.
could be. Well, we'll
But
figure
the
it out.
filter was set on stage already.
Yeah, it was set on stage, so but still could be. I mean, you're correct, right? So it's on stage. So let's just select everything from here. Okay, so that is the first record that you're seeing. So the primary key ID 0, that is the initialize table record. So you'll always have one more in the actual select count. That's from the scripts that I've gotten you. Okay, so that's the one that we do not count. It doesn't. It's always there, even if the dimension is empty. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So can we spot some duplicates here? This won't tell us much, but entry numbers. Can you select distinct for the GL entry number?
Um, I'm on this team. How do you do that?
So you do count. You have to.
Or this thing count?
Hold on. So I'm sorry, the screen is really lagging for me. So hold on. I'm not even sure what you're doing at the moment. Come on. Still not seeing it. Sorry. Okay, but anyway, so what you do is a select count. So bracket. Oh, you already done it?
Yeah, but
Okay. So
it's the
how many
same.
distinct records you have? You have the same
The
number of
same, yeah.
distinct records. Okay, so that is okay. What about some other fields?
Just a second. Let me check something. Okay, the filter was applied on stage, but not on data warehouse.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you probably didn't deploy and process the whole instance when we did the stage, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And Rakesh, you probably did the same. You probably didn't deploy and process the instance when we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know. So that's good. So I was getting a little bit worried there, but if the instance was not deployed and processed, then it means that you have the information from the previous step when we didn't filter anything out uh, on the stage, right? And then you only repaired the stage, so you had less records there, and you had more records. You still have more records in in the dimension. Okay,
Yeah.
so mystery discovered. That's good. So everybody understood why we got this difference now? Alex, you understand?
Yeah, I get a little bit confused, but I'm gonna rewatch it, so I think we could go next.
Okay, so we applied, just to explain again, we applied a filter on stage tables on the GL entry, right? Okay, but what Yaka did is only he only deploy and processed that particular stage table, okay? But on the fact table, the data was still inside from where we didn't have the filter in place. So that's why he has more records in the fact than in stage. So
I understand.
if he would now deploy and process the whole instance, I'm pretty much sure that this difference would not occur.
So he basically still has the old data in the
Fact table. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, that's good. So I'll take the screen again, and maybe Yaka in between, you can deploy and process the instance.
Yeah, already doing it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we'll now do is open the next script that we have, the fact. Okay, and we'll do the same again. So just execute against the database. Okay, assuming everybody has done this, or otherwise you'll catch up. We'll take a look at one difference that I have here. Sales delivery return receipt. So numbers in stage is 12 and then it's 108, which is pretty uncommon. Okay, really big difference there.
I don't even see the screen. Or are you not sharing right now?
I think I'm sharing. Does everybody else see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
So what should I do then?
Yeah.
There's some
Wait.
teams that happens for me sometimes.
Yeah,
You could just leave and rejoin.
the teams. Yeah, you can leave
The
and
teams, the
rejoin.
meeting, yeah.
Oh, I see now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, teams are weird regarding that. So, you know, it's not a good application for this kind of work. So, and the more people are on the meeting, the worse this gets. And yeah, it's not the best. It's not something that you did. It's Teams. Okay, so I'll check the difference in sales delivery return receipt. What I'll do is open this time the load procedure. On the dimension part, we did view, and here we'll do load. And this is only because the view part is hidden within the load procedure here on the in the facts. Okay, and I will again, now you can just observe here and you'll see what I'm doing here. So I will copy everything here and just get rid of everything that I do not need. Okay, I won't be needing any of this. I'll just do the select, and then we have all the fields. And again, we'll do the same as we have done before. So we'll select count from here. So return receipt line. We have 12 results. That's good. Okay, and then we'll join the return receipt header. We have 12. Okay, and then we'll do the left outer join. Still have 12. That is really good. So it means that the stage data is correct. So this is the from stage, right? This is the view from stage. What it means is we have some differences when we have joined dimensions. So this part. So on dimension, it's simple, right? We only have information from stage, but on the fact, it gets more complicated. So yes, we have everything from stage, right? And this is in line with what we saw here. So 12 records. So that means something is wrong on when we join the dimensions. So this is when, if you remember correctly, when we did the dimensions on the facts part, you remember that I said you need to get that connection to the fact correctly, that relation. So I think the problem is somewhere here, but we'll check. So we'll do the same. So again, we'll select count from here. I'll have to do something else. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, let me go back. So first I have to select into view because in the load procedure we're loading the data from view. Okay, so I'll have to get the information into view first. Don't worry about this. You won't be doing this often. I just wanted to show you. Okay, let's do this. But we have discovered that, it's not on stage. So we'll just put everything into view. Come on. Yeah, we have to declare. Create. Let's see if this works. Will not do this. Declare. This is not simple stuff, right? So you don't have to remember this. Okay. Good. So we, in the view, like we saw in this joint stage tables, we have 12 records. That's okay. Now we'll do a select count. Okay, let me just move this a little bit down so you'll see more. Select count from, and then we'll select from the view we have just filled. Okay, we have 12 rows in the view, and then we'll select from the view, and we'll have the result of 12. Okay, and then we just have to go, see what we done wrong on the dimensions. Okay, that's already 36, so there is some differences here. We'll do a little bit less. Sorry, have to select a little bit less. 36. Still 36. Date. Oh, shipment date. I'll probably know the shipment date is at fault here. No. What about customer? Yeah, customer. So something we did not do right on the customer. Yeah, and that's probably the mistake I did in the terms of when I did the when I do the whole training, and this is where it gets a bit complicated. So this might not be the best example. I probably did a mistake on one of the tables that we've changed, maybe on the sales item. But because sales is, we treat it as a whole there, probably has some differences there. Anyway, we'll try to figure out. Otherwise, this will be a really unproductive meeting. Or maybe we can check again on some other occasion. This is so we are doing this, because we still have some time. And if we can't figure it out, that's okay. I'll try to figure it out on my own. I'm just filling out the rest of the 8 minutes that we have. If I won't figure it out now, I'll figure it out somewhere else, and then we'll see what we did. Okay, so the one that we have checked, and saying that it might not be even our fault. So sales delivery, return received. This one will go into edit. We saw this is correct. And we saw we did some mistake on the customer, excuse me. And this was the sell to customer. Let's do something else. Let's see if this is the only one that is giving us issue. $12, and I'm pretty sure there will be. Okay, let's have a look at all 36 again. So we're looking at the other customer, which is, I think, help me out here. Shipment, salesperson, customer, dimension customer, bill to customer, this one. We'll filter that out and we should see 12. Yeah, so both customers are the problem. Now, we know that we didn't do anything on this side of the project, right? We haven't touched anything here, right? This is still a standard project, right? Everything here. We did a new fact, but the sales is still untagged. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the facts here on sales will have the same problem of duplication. So when I go back here and have a look at what is at fault, I can see GL transaction. We'll check that later. Okay. But we have receivables transactions where we also use the customer. And then we have all the rest of the sales values where we use the customer as well. So what does it tell us? We couldn't have done an error on things we didn't worked on, okay, on this particular facts. So it must have come from somewhere else. Now, we discovered here that the issue comes from customer, right? The customer. Now, we discovered in the previous step that already the customer dimension was not correct, right? Remember, I did some errors on the customer dimension and the data is duplicating there. And now we know the cause of all these problems derives from dimensions, not from the actual fact because we did nothing wrong there, but from customer dimension where we did some errors, okay? And if I go back to, so if I go back to the store procedure for the documents, for the dimension, I see the only issue that I have is on customer. And this is how you know that you have to check dimensions, okay? And if you have problems in dimension, that means that the problem will go from dimension and it will only multiply on the fact where that dimension is used. And we see a difference of 156 here. But when that gets multiplied with all the times where the customer appears in the document, we see a lot of differences here. So it only multiplied. Again, to recap, there is nothing wrong with the facts. There is nothing wrong with how we connected the dimension to the fact, right? That is still correct. But the issue comes from dimension itself. And when the dimension itself is at fault, the differences just multiplies in the facts. Okay? Everybody understood?
Yes.
Okay. And this was I'm glad I did that mistake on the customer dimension. So this was a really fine exercise that we know that we have to go back to dimension and fix that first. And this is also a way to know that you first have to check dimensions. So there shouldn't be any differences here, and there shouldn't be, if that is correct, right? You shouldn't see any differences here. If you change nothing in the project. But if you did some changes and still did something wrong here and everything is correct on dimensions, then you know something is up on the fact itself. Okay? Alex, understand that?
Yes.
Yeah? Jaka, Luca? Jan?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Jan, did you see the procedure even, or was the screen?
My screen is, or should I say your screen is?
No, you should say your screen. Yeah. Yeah, yours.
All the time, even now, it still shows that you have selected receivables, transactions, and to sales values.
Yeah.
Your mouse is still, and
Yeah. I'm here now. So you had caught up. I'll show this to you again. Live, so you'll see what I did. But if everybody else got it, yeah, let's yeah. That's a nice way to end actually the session. What I will also do is just to confirm that this is indeed the thing that we've done wrong. Okay, I'll go to the customer, and I would get rid of the table that we have added. I'll remove table. Okay, and go next and go next, and I will update the customer dimension. Okay, we still have a minute, so I'll take that opportunity to show you this. Okay, I will update that dimension. Okay, applying change to analysis database. Yeah, this is probably the error that you got, Alex, the last time around, right? An internal error has occurred.
No, I've got error 114.
You got a different one? No, I know now, but when you did update now the other day, I know somebody. Yeah, I know. I know somebody did had this error. So when it says an internal error occurred, it's just something that is beyond our control. It's something where the analysis database is returning us this error. We'll just do update now. And by doing that, hopefully this will go through and see that there is nothing wrong on the with the model itself. It's just that the message that we get from the SQL server. Okay. Yeah. So that was a nice training. So I think we pretty much covered everything. I'm glad we get some really nice examples on what could go wrong. Okay, this is still happening. Yeah, sometimes you have to do it more than once. Yeah, like I said, we had some really nice examples of what can go wrong and how, and I showed you the way on how to solve it. And again, right, it's a teamwork always here at BF Dynamics. If you have some issues that you cannot resolve or have some doubts on how to resolve it, all of us are always available. Either you'll need some help from support or from the BI consultants or from the developers, either on SQL side or on .NET side. Somebody will always be available for you. So this doesn't go through for me. What I'll do here is I have already generated the scripts here. Maybe I'll generate them again just to be sure. What I'll do is just deploy and process the whole instance. And hopefully we'll see some good results. Deploy and process all. Yes. Okay. Probably this will take another minute or so. So does anybody has any questions or remarks or comments or anything that was missing from this training, or maybe we should, or maybe some specific area that you didn't quite understand and we should take this a little bit further? So just give me your thoughts, and I'll stop recording now. So it will be a off the record, so you can actually speak your mind and not be recorded. Just give me a second. Okay, stop.